You like that wah wah wow? That little wow. Hello everybody. I'm Dave England, the host of Wine with Dave. I am really getting that down pat. I know exactly where I have to angle my arm to just swipe the bottom of that font. Right. Look at that. You couldn't get better. Oh, that's awesome. I hope everyone's doing well. Leave some comments. My gosh, we got a lot to talk about tonight. A whole lot to talk about. What do we got? We got Stephen Wolf watching WWD. What is that? Wide World of Duh, and doing some more recording. I don't know what WWD is. Yo, happy Monday, Rick Greenwood from 29 Palms. What's up, Greenwood? Cape COVID, Massachusetts. Cape COVID. Chris Maynard from Cape COVID, Massachusetts. Getting all hunkered down. That's good. That's good. Hang in there. I had a tough day today. I'm just going to be honest with you. I had a tough day. Things just weren't working right, and I was just behind on work and trying desperately to get stuff done, and it just wouldn't go my way. Wine with Dave, though. I am bringing the Dave. You guys bring the wine. Got my little glass. I was actually going to drink water tonight, but I decided not to. So, how is everybody tonight? It is August 27th, and guess what time it is? It's wine o'clock. It's wine o'clock. You like that? It's not 9 o'clock. It's wine o'clock. I like that. Yeah, I'm running that one to death. It's wine o'clock. Don't have anything else to say. Oh, WWD is Wine with Dave. I'm thinking, I see WD, I think Walking Dead. That's right. WWD is the new AMC hit show, Wine with Dave. Special guest Aaron Kloss. April 27th. Cool. Yeah, keep leaving comments. Hey, actually, the program I use to go live just released something super cool. You know those ticker tapes that run along the top? You could put news in. So you guys can tell me if anything going on, anybody have a baby or any deals going on with your business or the mortgage rate dropped or blah, 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 whatever. Just text me and I could pop it in and it'll just run across the screen. I don't care. I'm here to promote. And I'm not really here to promote me, but eventually it does promote me. Something just fell. I don't know what fell. Purple popcorn. You could do a watch party, but you know what? Forget the watch party. You could do it, but share it. Just click the share button and share it to your own page if you're watching. And then just tell people like, this is the best thing ever. WWD. Wine with Dave. What else? Leave a comment. Tell me where you're from. I usually start with like, what's your town? Just type in your town. That's really good. Typing in your town. Tell me if you own a home. Say, I own a home. Or, I rent. Or, I live at home. One of those three, okay? That would be really good. I own a home. I rent. Or I live with mommy. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. All right? It's okay. I lived with mommy. I did the same thing. It's okay. All right, ready to get into this? Miley Cyrus, Wish You Were Here. What do you guys think of that? Miley Cyrus was on SNL. Well, she wasn't on. She was at home, but she's kind of pulled in. And, she did Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. And it was great. It was dark California nights. It was probably hot. She had a fire pit behind her. The fire was raging. This nice glow on her face. Beautiful girl. And Miley Cyrus, she's got a good voice on her, and she had this guy probably 20 feet away on an acoustic 12-string guitar, boom, doing the whole David Gilmour, Pink Floyd thing. And it was like, okay, how is she going to do it? And it was almost the same version as how they do it, but there wasn't a second guitar. Then she starts singing, and it's like that. Her voice just is so clear and soulful. bit of a twang. She could like the southern thing. So I thought she did a really good job. Some people were like, no thanks. Keith Peck, new homeowners in Warwick. Good job, Keith. You're a homeowner. I own a home and I live in it. I thought she did a great job. Yeah, you think so, Steve? I think it was really good. I think it was a good job. Moving on to the next point of business. Kim Jong Un is not dead. Kim Jong Un is not dead. I just wanted you to know that. He did not die. But I thought about that. Man, these dictators, right? If they're hated by all their people and he's got like a heart condition, he's going in for a simple surgery, don't you think the hospital knows he's coming in and is kind of whispering behind, like, let's pull the plug? I'm not saying they should. I'm not going to, you know, push that theory around, but it probably went through some people's heads at the time. We could kind of end this guy, but then we get his sister. I don't know. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that? Anybody like Kim Jong Un? Is he cute? Anybody play ping pong with him? Want to have him over for dinner? Have him over for a barbecue? Anybody like him? Anybody? Kim Jong is not dead. Punk rock song. Kim Jong is not dead. Kim Jong is not dead. I take a sip to that. Hey, listen. It's National Something Day, right? And again, they're kind of lame, but there is one that's I don't know, it's pretty good. It's Tell a Story Day, National Tell a Story Day. So instead of really telling a story, which is the exact opposite of what I should be doing, I'm going to I am going to tell a story. So Wine with Dave started April 1st. I'm not going to bore you. We're like, this is episode, where are we? Episode 19. Can't believe 19. Tomorrow is a big 2-0. So I started that, and then it overcame my personal Facebook page. So you're watching Wine with Dave, a show that really should have its own page. It basically is cannibalizing my own page. So I don't post anymore because it looks weird to have post about Kim Jong-un is not dead and SNL, Miley Cyrus, and then, Aaron Kloss on blah, 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 and then, this guy on Wine with Dave, and then blah, blah, blah. So I like it. I like things to be neat. I'm not a neat guy, but I think visually on my desktop computer, I kind of like things to be visual. So I'm like, Wine with Dave is cannibalizing my own personal page. So here's a story in honor of National Story Day. Drum roll, please. Can I do a little... I had an idea. So I created a page. It's at Wine with Dave on Facebook. So it's live, and I loaded all the videos on there. So you can look at them. You don't have to go through my feed. And please like the page, because I clicked the button, invite all. I have 1,009 friends. It went to every one of them. Every one of them. And I did that like midnight last night before I went to bed. Woke up in the morning, I have 80 likes. So I'm afraid to start going live on that page, because what if everyone comes to my page like, where is it? It's not where. Dave's dead. Kim Jong-un's alive, but oh no. So I don't want to do that. So, but I'm going to wait till it's about a couple hundred. I don't know. Just go over that. Not now. Don't go now. But just write that down. @ Wine with Dave. Which the @ just means that's where I'm at. So if you just go to Facebook, go in the little search bar in the upper left corner, Wine with Dave, you're going to see the logo with the little blue, hippie water. Little, what do you call that? I don't know, hippie water. Anyway, I digress. Chris Maynard is falling asleep. Okay. All right. Sorry, Chris. Wasn't as exciting as your episode, I guess. Did you know? I'm going to do another segment. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This is going to be cool. All right. I think you're going to like this, Chris. Did you know? Did you know 11% of the people are left-handed? Not me. Did you know August has the highest percentages of births? Did you know unless food is mixed with your own saliva, you can't taste it? Did you know? Did you know the average person falls asleep in 7 seconds? Did you know? It's a new segment, folks. Should I keep saying "Did you know" after it? That would be really annoying. Um, did you know an ostrich's eye is bigger than his brain? Did you know? Did you know lemons contain more sugar than strawberries? Did you know? Did you know 8% of people have an extra rib? Did you know that? Did you know 85% of all plant life lives under the ocean? No, it's actually found in the ocean. It's not under the ocean. Did you know that a human-sized penguin once lived in New Zealand? Holy crap! 5'8" penguin. Did you know? Did you know? Did you know that plants protect themselves when it rains? And they actually get stressed for a second. The leaves curling is a stress hormone. Did you know that? Did you know that grapes catch fire in a microwave? Did you know that? All right, that's the segment. I hope you had fun with that. Have a great night. I'll see you next week. So that was that. Did you know? Let me know if you liked Did You Know? Was Did You Know good? Was Did You Know good? That's what my mama said. Did you know good? That did you know? That boy Aaron Kloss, you hang out with him, he does you no good. My mom didn't talk that way. National Story Day. Hey, we're going to get right into it, okay? Are you guys ready or not? Wine with Dave. Tonight's guest is Aaron Kloss. Aaron Kloss with Nations Lending. Aaron's a sweet, grillin', hard, saucin', barbecue burning, lip smacking mortgage lender. Check it out.
Some people have perfect credit and plenty of money saved up to buy a house. For the rest of us, it can be difficult getting financing for your mortgage. I can help, including finding you the right down payment assistance program. I have helped countless people over the past 18 years get the money they need to buy the house of their dreams.
Aaron Kloss.
How we doing?
I'm doing good. Are you doing good? You.
I just want to know who these people are that fall asleep in 7 minutes, because it takes me about 2 or 3 hours.
Well, you're not working that hard, brother, because you should be falling asleep quick. No, some people fall asleep fast. Well, it's the average, okay? So it's the average person. Is that what it said? The average? Did you know did you know ribs, ostrich eye? The average person falls asleep. You're not average. You're better than average.
I'm worse than average.
I actually fall asleep. If I'm laying down and I'm just like, oh, man, I just roll over. My wife says, you're literally out within 10 seconds. I'm like, really? So, hey, it's good to have you on Wine with Dave. What are you drinking tonight? Anything?
I got a nice bottle of Nations Lending wine right here.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, we love to bring these to our closings.
So you bring that to every closing, no matter what?
Not only for us, but for our real estate agent as well. I don't know if you can see, but that is a Keller Williams bottle right there. They get the red.
So you have, you work with a lot of real estate agents, right? And then you've got to get all these labels for the wines and just boom, boom, boom.
I do, yes, yeah. It's quite a process because they're all made in Newport at the winery, so we have to drive down once a month and pick up all the cases of wine for the 25 loan officers that we have.
Yeah, that seems really hard on you. I
have to volunteer quite a bit.
Oh, come on, boss. I got to go pick up wine again? Again? Michelle DeRosia, 7 seconds. She was like shocked. Chris Maynard, Aaron, Aaron.
Oh boy, here we go.
Michelle Brooks, I bet I'm asleep in 4 seconds. Yeah, you're working on a farm, Michelle. So that's cool. Oh, she said something else. I want to get everyone's cool.
Hey,
Did you know redheads that have blue eyes and are left-handed is very rare, and both my grandkids are all three. They're redheads with
wow.
blue eyes and left-handed? Wow. I gotta have you on the show. Oh, Chris Maynard, I forgot to post something. I better post that before he cries. I love it. I'm an August baby. Did you know you can't swallow 5 times in a row without water?
I did not know that.
Really?
1,
Two.
that's beer. I guess that doesn't count.
Three.
That's like water.
4. Oh my gosh, that's hard. I can't do that. That's a good one. I should pay him to be my writer. Hey, I got some questions for you. You're
Sweet.
not slowing down, are you, during this COVID-19 mess?
We're not actually. Believe it or not, this is the busiest month I have ever had in the history of my 18 years now. April was.
Are you serious? I thought it was
Yes.
just like good, but it's the best.
This is the best year we had, and the only thing that is slowing nations down from closing loans is the amount of volume we have. The rates are extremely low right now, so our applications are through the roof. So it's a great time to buy a house.
And a lot of these applications can be digital. I want you to talk about that because you've got an app that the whole thing is working on. That's Dave Plays with Apps. So give me a little secret. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. So how did you get started in the mortgage industry?
Oh, it's kind of interesting. I grew up in upstate New York,
Yep.
up in the Adirondacks, and I wanted to get away, from the small town life. So I moved to Rhode Island, and I
Yeah, Rhode
went to
Island's
Johnson,
big town
Wales.
life.
Well, it was close enough that it wasn't too. It was only 3.5 hours I could get home.
I wanted to get away from the small towns. I wanted to go to the big city. I went to Rhode Island.
I graduated with 35 kids, so I'll tell you, it's the big time here in Rhode Island. But so I went to Johnson Wales, and when I graduated with a marketing degree, I went to Career Day, and I saw the guys with all the suits, and I was like, oh, this is a good place to put in my application. And ever since, I've been doing loans. So 18 years now, I've been working in the mortgage industry.
Did you ever doubt yourself during that, or was it just like passion?
Many times.
Yeah, really?
Many times, yeah. As of, I'd say probably the last 3 or 4 years, I kind of reinvented myself. I went from, actually it was mostly the fall of the mortgage industry. Everything slowed down quite a bit back in 2006 through 2008.
Yep.
And I got more into the purchase part of being a mortgage loan officer versus the refinance part. And it really made all the difference in my career, because I really got to see, the positive side of my job, having people live the American dream, buy homes. It's really meant a lot to me, and it's really empowered me through the last few years to, reinvent myself. So I'm extremely happy with what I do now. So it's a lot of fun.
So Aaron, I'm doing the math in my head. So 17 years is just before 2008 with the crash, where a lot of people who were mortgage lenders and real estate, they were all excited, got in, and then they got out.
Yeah.
What made you, you just were a new guy, right? A couple years in the industry. What was the thing that made you say, no, I'm going to stay in here?
Well, I was a young guy, no family yet, so I was still making a good salary, and I just kind of stuck it out. I worked for a couple different companies, and I spent a lot of time doing it, and it just kind of stuck it out, grinded it out throughout the years, and it paid off because it's turned into what it is today. So.
Wow, cool. Struck some gold. Old Jed's a millionaire. So what motivates you to continue working?
I tell you, like when I was talking about earlier about buying a home, for me, growing up in upstate New York, I grew up in a fantastic family. We didn't have a lot of money, and I was kind of a screwball. I just did enough at school to be able to still play sports without getting kicked out. And finally one day I had enough. I'm like, I'm not going to school anymore. I've had enough. And my mother actually sat me down and she said, and she worked so hard. She worked, till 8 o'clock every single night. She was a single mom, and she raised 3 boys, so she worked her tail off. And we had a small tiny house, just a half bathroom, little house. But she sat me down and she goes, Aaron, he goes, if you ever want to have anything decent in your life, if you want to have a nice house, all these things, you want to have a new car, you have to work for it. And you got to start now. I was probably a junior in high school, and it kind of hit me in the head. I was like, I do want a nice house. I do want to live the American dream. And so I went to college. I got on a dean's list. I worked hard through college. I got this job, and now to be able to help people buy their first home, to give them the opportunity to grow a family, it means a lot to me, and it's given me all the passion I need to keep productive and keep working hard. Because that closing day is fantastic. To see those smiles with the kids and family, give them the keys, it means the world to me.
That's great.
That's my passion.
You must see a lot of kids like, this is our house. Oh my gosh. Can we build a tree house? Can we go in the back and build a tree house? Yeah, it's all brand new. That's got to be a cool feeling.
Yeah, it's great. I do a lot of open houses with the realtors. So the families come in, the kids just sprint to the rooms. They start picking out their rooms right away. It's awesome.
And they're already
especially a lot of them. The biggest thing about owning a home, and you got to own a home if you ever want to create wealth for your family. A lot of people, if you want something to pass down to your kids one day to help them get better in life, because we always want to have our kids end up being a little bit better off than we were.
Yep.
That starts with owning a home. That's living the American dream. Once you own a home and you pay it down and eventually you pay it off, that is something that you eventually share to your kids. You give that to your kids. You give them the opportunity to have a better life, and it creates wealth for your family. So it's important, for everybody to have the same opportunity that I had, and I love being a part of that. I love being a part of creating that opportunity, not only for the people buying a home, but for their kids, later on down the line.
That's cool. Hey guys, leave a comment. I click it and your comment goes live right under here with Wine with Dave. So anything you guys, if you have a question for Aaron about buying a home, I mean, you can also text him, below his, where he is, Aaron Kloss, nationslending.com/Aaron, Aaron Kloss. What is Kloss? Is that German?
That is German. Yeah. My grandfather came from Germany. He was Ludwig Kloss.
Oh.
So, proper German name. And I have about,
Ludwig Kloss.
He had a big stone fireplace with probably about 30 steins on it. So I've kind of carried on the tradition. I have my own stein collection.
Come on.
That's why I don't drink wine. I drink the beer.
Oh, nice. I'm a quarter French, so that's where the wine comes in, but I should be drinking the beer with the Irish. My grandfather on my dad's side, well, my dad's father, Henry England, and his dad was Otto England. Imagine that. The old Swedes. That's cool.
That's quite a name too.
That's wild. That's so cool. Hey, so how does someone start the process of getting a loan?
Well, the first thing they need to do is download my app and fill out an application. So what we try to do during the application process is there's 3 key ingredients to buying a home. It's credit, assets, and income. Okay. Now, the credit I can fix, the assets you can save the money, and the income you can get a raise. So that's the 3 things we look at. So whether you can buy a home right away or if it's going to take you 2 years from now, I'd like to talk to you now, because I have worked with borrowers that it's taken 2 years to get them to buy a home.
Yep.
If they might have a 400 credit score, well, that's okay. We'll tell you what to do to get your credit score to where we can have you buy a home. We actually have a simulator where we'll actually put in all their information. We'll tell them what they need to do to get their credit scores up. Assets is basically having the money for your down payment. It's having money in reserves in case one day you lose your job. You want to make sure you have a little nest egg, to help you make the mortgage payments so you get back to work. So it's important that you have at least 3 months worth of money in the bank to pay the mortgage in case something happens.
So you're like a consultant for these people, the first-time homeowners?
We are, and that's what I pride myself at. Me and all my coworkers, we pride ourselves at. A lot of people you'll call up, they'll say sorry, we can't help you, and they'll hang up on you. And we don't want to do that. We help with everybody. You call us up, we'll go through the application together. We'll look at your credit. We'll tell you what you need to get better. We'll tell you what you need to show for income. We'll tell you exactly what you need in the bank.
Yeah.
And so on. So we want to be your loan officer for life, not just the first purchase.
Yeah. So
build that relationship, help our borrowers, and move forward.
So the difference with a broker and a lender, a broker is looking for other banks or money people to give the money to, but you guys are a lender. So you'll help people. From what you said, you'll help them get the down payment.
Yeah, we service 100% of our loans, so we don't sell them off to other banks. We lend out our own money. So the difference between a lender and a broker is a broker will prepare the loan for you. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a broker. They have their advantages too. They're dealing with a lot of different lenders. However, they're preparing the loan and then they're going to sell it to a lender. So they're subject to whatever the guidelines are of that lender.
Mm-hmm.
Where we have our own money and we can make certain exceptions. We can be a lot more lenient than a broker can. So each loan officer has a different quality, a different niche, I should say, that they can perform that others can't.
Right. We got a question in that just came in. Tom, is it possible to get loans for individuals living on government subsidies?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a steady income and you can show you can have that for the next 3 years, then yeah, it is possible.
It's really just, my question is about credit. Like, we have pretty good credit. It's not the best. It's better than fair. It's fair to great, I guess. It's right in that. But I don't know what the truth is. If you go to these Experians and all these other ones, does it hurt your credit every time you go? What's the story on that?
This is an awesome question. So your Credit Karma, your credit card, if you even go to the straight bureau, like Equifax or Experian to get a credit score, all those are scores that are created by their own, I guess, credit scale. They're going to be different and weighted differently, but with the company that's actually pulling your credit. Okay, so Credit Karma weighs what their criteria is for your credit score differently than what a mortgage company does. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll break it down a little easier. You have your three bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Okay, these three bureaus collect all your information, all your data, everyone that reports to them.
Let me cut you off. Is that the same all over the U.S.?
All over the U.S.
Okay.
Yep. There's only three bureaus. Okay. Now, when I pull your credit, it's not those bureaus that are giving the credit score. It's the company that I hired to get that information and generate us a credit score based on the mortgage industry's criteria. Okay. So we use a company called Credit Plus. Okay. There's a bunch of them in the mortgage industry. There's Kroll, Advantage, and so on. There's a whole bunch of them. But they're all using the mortgage industry's criteria to generate your credit score.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to weigh more importantly on, perfect example, Credit Karma will take all your credit cards together and they'll weigh your credit score based on how much you owe together. So you could have 3 maxed out cards and 4 credit cards with no balances at all.
Right.
And they think, oh, you're at 50%, great. The mortgage industry, we weigh every account individually. So just because you have 4 cards cleared off, if one's maxed out, that maxed out credit card is hurting your credit. Okay. So our scores are going to be different than those things you see online.
So you're looking into, it's not like robotic. It's pretty, there's a human touch to that. You're looking at this person, they got 7 credit cards and one's maxed out. That could look good, but why is it maxed out? So is that what you're looking at?
Correct. Well, that's exactly it. They want to know, you might have 5 $400 credit cards with no balance, but you have a $10,000 one that's maxed out.
Yeah.
So you're a credit risk. The other thing, you could be a credit risk if you have a bunch of credit cards that don't have any balances and you don't have a lot of income. So say you have $40,000 in credit cards. They might not have balances, but that is a credit that you can access and get yourself in trouble to at any time. So it is possible to have too much debt.
Yeah. I heard.
I mean, too much credit, not debt.
Yeah, too much availability for that.
Availability.
Shirley Gerard, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Can I still get a loan if I need 100% financing?
Absolutely.
I know the answer to that.
We
Yep.
are we are a national lender, so we work at every state. But locally, we do Massachusetts Housing,
Mm-hmm.
and they will give you up to $15,000 towards your down payment. We do Rhode Island Housing, and they'll give you a second lien up to $12,000 or 6% of the purchase price. So there's a lot of guidelines. You need to call me to get into specifics.
Yeah, yeah.
We also do USDA loans. Okay, a USDA loan is a rural development loan. So a lot of northern Rhode Island, southern Mass, a lot of the area out in Westerly, if you're going to go into Rhode Island, a lot of that is USDA territory. So those are 100% financing loans.
So you
Okay?
can get an old barn like outside of 295, like west,
Yes.
like the Burrville, Chepachet.
Yeah, Burryville, exactly. Chepachet, West Greenwich.
Come on, Shirley Gerard, get that farm you've been thinking about all your whole life.
Well, Shirley is an awesome real estate agent for Keller Williams, by the way.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you guys need an agent, I highly recommend her.
Nice. All right, we got another one from Michelle Brooks. We just inquired about this and was told if you get a credit hit, now she's in West Virginia. I know Michelle. We just inquired about this and was told if you get a credit hit for a mortgage, you have 30 days to get other loan quotes without additional hits on your credit. Is that true? We are inquiring about a refinance, by the way.
Yes, that's true to a certain extent. Now, in my knowledge, from what I was taught, and I did take a credit class, but it was a couple of years ago, so you got to bear with me. It was 15 days you had. And how it works is you can pull your credit as many times as you want in those 15 days. But once you hit that 16th day, all the credit pulls you had on the first day will then go against you as a hard pull. So, for an example,
Whoa.
say you pulled your credit 10 times on the first,
Yep.
okay? And then you pulled your credit score again on the 16th. Well, now you're going to get 10 credit pulls on the first.
So what does a
Okay.
credit pull do to your credit?
It'll bring down your credit score. Now, it doesn't bring it down a ton. It's usually 1 to 3 points or somewhere around
Oh,
there.
so if you're like 725, you're
It
720.
doesn't make a
It's
difference.
not a big. Just
I'll
don't
give
do
you
that
an
every month.
example. A lot of people think that, oh, my credit. I just bought a car. When you go to a place to buy a car, they're going to run your credit like 100 times. Okay, and a lot of people think that that's what brought their credit score down, but not necessarily, because they all pulled it in the same day, so it only counted as one hard pull. What really brought their credit down was the fact they took out a new debt. So anytime you buy a car, buy a house, until you start making positive payments on that debt, it will bring your credit score down because you just took out a large debt on your credit report.
Right, that's true. And then Michelle just said it's the whole debt to income ratio. She also is asking, do you do VA loans?
Yes, and that's the last one I didn't get to. VA is 100% financing, so no down payment. The other nice thing about VA loans that a lot of people don't know is they will allow the seller to contribute to purchasing your house. So the seller can pay all your closing costs, but then they have an additional 4% of your purchase price. So, for example, you buy a house for $100,000, you get 4% of that, so that's $4,000 to do other things like pay down your debt. So if you're having trouble getting qualified for a VA loan because you have a high debt to income,
Yep.
and what that is all your debts divided by your income, you can use that $4,000 on a $100,000 house to pay off a couple of your credit cards if you want, as long as obviously the seller agrees to do it.
Right, right. And you have that conversation with them to make sure. It's a great way. I mean, you just get creative. You work with the numbers to make it happen.
Exactly. So maybe you buy the house for $104,000, and he takes that extra $4,000 and he gives it to you to help you purchase the home.
Right. And then Tom Lapolito, based on what you said, I assume that the instant boost advertised by including utilities, etc., doesn't really work.
I'm confused by the question.
Yeah, I am too. I don't understand. Based on what you said, I assume that the instant boost. Oh, Tom was asking about, is it possible to get loans for individuals living on government subsidies? So he's saying, based on what you said, I assume that the instant boost.
All right. So I want to answer the question.
Yep.
Again, with what Tom was talking, government, you cannot buy a home if you're working off of government assistance. Okay. Disability, yes, because that's a solid income that you're going to have for the life of your loan. But if it's welfare or things like that, then unfortunately you can't.
Yeah, that I know that makes sense. It's like the
Yeah, because
government
you
buying
have to
my.
show you can. This is an income that you'll have for 3 years. That's what you have to prove. Social Security's fine. Disability income that you'll have for life, all those things are fine. But things that are temporary, like unemployment, things like that, you cannot buy a home.
Any stories you can tell us? Any weeping, emotional stories that you've gone through? make us
Oh, I got a
make us
lot of
cry,
them.
Aaron. Come on.
One of my favorite stories I like to tell a lot. And the reason for the story is this is a program that I'm passionate about. It's called a 203K loan. It's an FHA loan that allows a borrower to take additional cash out of their home to help fix up their property. Okay. So I got a call from a lady who's a CNA.
Yep.
She lived in Providence, and she didn't make a lot of money. She made about 40,000 a year, and she was referred to me from one of her friends who I helped out in the past. But she called me up. She's like, you know what? I'm paying $1,400 a month in rent, and she lived in Providence, and they're just about to bump me up to about $1,700 a month. I'm like, $1,700 a month for an apartment? She's like, yeah, it's a bottom floor. It's a couple of bedrooms. My kids are there. I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't afford it. And she goes, I've been turned down by a lot of different lenders, and I don't know what to do. I have to find a new apartment, or someone said you might be helping me to buy a house. So we talked to her. It was a tough loan. We got her hooked up with Rhode Island Housing, so we helped her get down payment assistance, and we helped her buy the house, two actual houses next to hers. So we helped her get her a new 3-family home. She was renting one out.
Wow.
We were able to use the rental income that she was going to get in the other 2 units to help qualify her for income. We had a great real estate agent work with us, and she was helping her to get a manager to help manage the rental income.
Yep.
And we got the Rhode Island Housing. So she got the money for her down payment. She was able to do the extra income for her to help get her qualified. And she got the 203K loan to help fix the whole unit up, where she's able to put in 3 different new heating systems and redo the whole house. So she was able to do all this with just enough money for her 3.5% down payment, and now her rent is free. Her rent from the other two units is paying her mortgage, and it's also paying the manager that's helping her with her house. So we took a lady who didn't know where she's going to live, and we gave her her own property. We made her now to be able to build wealth for her kids, for the future.
That's
It didn't cost her anything, and now she's saving $1,200 a month from what she was paying living down the street.
And paying a property manager. Someone to.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a very exciting loan, and that's what I live for. I love to do those type of things. So that's awesome.
Right. That's great. Tom says, I've seen advertisements discussing instant boosts to your credit. Is that possible? Or you can't pay a company, a third party, to boost your credit, right? That's all based on you just paying your bills and depending on how much debt to loan ratio, right? Oh, I just lost you. Mick Brooks says, nice story. Yeah, that's a
question.
Sorry, I just lost you for a second, but Mick Brooks says that's a nice story. So, Tom was
to answer Tom's question.
Yeah. Can you pay a third party to fix your credit?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are good companies, and don't get me wrong, some of them will really help you, and it might be worth it. You got to be careful, though. Any company that wants to take money from you up front, that tells you that you got to miss a bunch of payments in order to have them negotiate to pay down your credit cards. Don't ever miss a payment. It's just going to kill your credit. It's not a good idea.
Right.
We do that same thing for free. We'll look at your credit report. We'll figure out exactly what you need to do to help fix your credit. We don't charge you anything. So if that's the case, give us a call. We'll help you build your credit. But whatever you do, Lexington Law, those companies, don't buy into it. Any company that tells you to miss payments, stay away.
Yeah. That's good advice. Because basically what they're doing is they're just giving you advice, but then you're paying them for that. where you guys
Oh,
are consulting, you're helping them.
what they're doing is they're having you miss all your payments until you're almost in collections, and then they're calling up the credit companies and saying, hey, we want to settle with you, so we'll give you half the amount this person owes to have you go ahead and close out the loan or the credit card or the collection account or whatever.
Right.
You can do that on your own. You can call up a collection agency and say, hey, I got $500, I'll give you $1,000, will you take it? And they'll say yes or no. You know, they might negotiate with you. But if I've seen people with 650 credit go to Lexington Law, all of a sudden not pay any of their bills, and then end up with a 540 credit score.
Oh, big hurt.
Because they didn't pay other bills. Yeah, now they don't have any debt, but they don't have any credit either. So it's not always the best solution. So be careful who you're dealing with.
Yeah, wow. Sometimes that's bad. That's really bad. Bad advice.
I don't mean to, speak badly of a company. It's just things I've seen in the past.
Right. Chris Maynard, awesome interview. Great advice. Shirley says the money the creditor writes off counts against you.
Counts against your credit. That's for sure.
Yeah, because you're doing that. One last question before you go. What are some obstacles that you faced during the COVID-19 challenge?
Well, I haven't faced a lot. I mean, we're going full steam ahead at Nations Lending. We haven't slowed down at all with our processing, maybe a little bit because of the amount of applications we had. The big challenging thing is our low credit score borrowers that need an FHA loan. Mm-hmm. We're still offering them, but a lot of lenders have quit doing FHA loans under a 680 credit score. And the simple reason for that is basically investors in the market that buy mortgage-backed securities, they don't want to take the risk with low credit score borrowers anymore. Okay, so because we sell our loans directly to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, and these are the companies that insure mortgages through FHA and USDA. I know it's a lot of technical stuff. You might not know what I'm talking about, but we sell directly to them. We're not a middleman, so we're still able to offer loans from a 580 all the way up to obviously high credit. It costs a little bit more, because we have to pay these investors to take the loans because they don't want them. Sure. But we still can offer them. So that's been one of the greatest things about working for a company like Nations Lending, being able to be a direct lender, being able to lend out our own money, service our loans. Gives us a lot of more opportunity in this market than a lot of, unfortunately, our competitors have been able to do. Other than that, it's great. I mean, it's a great market to buy a home right now because, before COVID, I don't want to talk positive about a horrible pandemic. But before this pandemic started, there was 4 or 5 offers to every listing. That's not the case anymore. So if you're a buyer that wants to go out and buy a home, now is a great time to do it because you're gonna have a lot less competition on the market. So it's you get a better offer.
Alan Langer gives a thumbs up. Alan was on the show. How you doing, Alan? Good seeing you. I just talked to you this morning. Shirley Gerard, it's crazy busy right now. That's really good. Yeah. That's good news. So tell me about. I mean, this isn't your field, but it sort of is. Open houses. How are they working? Do you have to call in advance and the realtor opens the door, you go in, and we stay outside and. How's
Yeah, I mean, this isn't my field, but this is what I think that's going on. So take it with a grain of salt. I think we're doing a lot of my real estate agents, and Shirley obviously is doing a lot of virtual stuff to begin with.
Yep.
We have some great photographers out there. Bill Palmatier is one that I know that he does a fantastic job doing 3D video where you can actually almost walk through a house. And then post it online. So a lot of our customers are able to really get a good feel what the house looks like ahead of time. And then if they decide they really like it, then our real estate agents are setting up an individual appointment, having the sellers go somewhere else, keeping all the cabinets open, all the doors open, all the light switches on. So it's minimal touching. You don't really have to touch anything. Yeah. Obviously using masks and gloves and everything else to keep people safe. And then letting them take a walk through the house.
Like poltergeist. It's like poltergeist. Everything's open. Shirley says there's no open houses. She says there's virtual open houses only. Shirley, are you
Yep.
in Rhode Island, Massachusetts? Where are you? Connecticut? She's saying 360 virtual tours. Yeah, that's a time to be doing that, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's perfect. Okay, let's talk about grilling, barbecue.
Hey, there we go.
Come
Enough of
on.
the boring stuff.
Well, I got to show you something. You can't see this, but everyone
Okay.
else can. What the heck are these photos? You're in front of this big black metal
Awesome.
thing. What is that? I want to know what that
Well,
is. I want one of those.
see, probably about 20 years ago, I got big into barbecue. I actually found a little vertical smoker that my brother was throwing away, and I was like, "Can I have that?" And he's like, "Sure." So I got big into it, and I kept doing it and doing it. I loved it. I loved it, and probably about maybe 12 or 13 years ago, I met a man named Michael Stout of Gotta Q Barbecue out of Cumberland. You should definitely stop in there. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And at that time, he just had a little yellow food truck, and he asked me to come and help him out. And I got to run the food truck for about 3 years, and it was so much fun. And that's one of the pictures at one of the events I'm at. We could probably put
Jeez.
25 to 30 racks of ribs in that smoker that I'm standing
Look at
next
that.
to.
Yeah, well, I'm blowing this up for everybody to see it. Can you guys see that? I'm just going to cover my face because who really cares? I'll cover half of Aaron's. Look at that. That
Yep.
is some serious meat.
I'll tell you, we would have lines about a mile long. We were serving a plate a minute out of the window for
Come
about
on.
maybe 6 hours.
That's cool. What year was that it was taken?
I think that one was 2012, maybe,
Yeah, yeah.
if I'm guessing off the top of my head.
Come on.
But yeah, we did all the Rhode Island food truck festivals. Mike has actually got big into doing some of the contests now. He's got a fantastic restaurant and 3 food trucks out of Cumberland. But he does a lot of the barbecue cook-offs with all the local barbecue people actually around New England. And I got to do one with him this last summer. Is at one of the campgrounds here in Rhode Island, and I'll tell you what a good time. It is awesome.
Michelle says he makes some mean pulled pork. I love pulled pork. I really do. Ribs, says
I gotta
Rick
bring
Greenwood.
some in someday.
Did you know 8% of the population has an extra rib? And probably it's Aaron right here. Hey, Aaron,
Oh yeah, my smoker.
did you like my
You know,
little
I,
intro? Tonight's guest, Aaron Kloss with Nations Lending. Aaron's a sweet grillin', hard saucing, barbecue burning, lip smacking mortgage lender.
That's right, low and slow. I'll
Come
tell you,
on.
after running around,
We got to do some grilling.
I'm open house. That's right. That's right. I love to smoke meat. It's so relaxing. If you build a fire, it takes about 16 hours to cook a brisket, and we just get to sit out there and cook meat. Have a little cooler next to us.
Yep. My father-in-law is in Texas, right? Woodlands in Texas, just north of Houston.
Oh.
It's actually part of Houston, and he came up years ago, right, from Texas. I'll eat an extra
Yep.
rib, says Shirley. We'll go there. And he's like, I'm going to bring up some brisket. And he brought it up all the way from Texas. I'm like, what's brisket? And it like melted in your mouth. It was the best meat ever. I love brisket.
I'll tell you a little story about brisket. See,
Yeah.
brisket
It's national
is actually
storytelling.
it's actually the nastiest cut of the cow you're gonna get. It's the toughest, hardest meat ever. That's why you have
Really?
to cook it low and slow. So back in a long time ago, obviously in the history of our country, there's 2 places where this cut of meat were popular.
Yep.
In the north, it was corned beef, because the Irish came off the boats and they didn't have refrigeration and they didn't have money to buy the good meat, so they had to deal with the brisket.
Yep.
And they salted it to make it last longer, and then they boiled it to make it tender. And that's where we get our corned beef.
Yeah.
The South, unfortunately, the slave population was given that meat to eat. Well, they invented barbecue in the South by slowly smoking it. So that's how you get that good southern smoked brisket, because it's how you tenderize the meat, by smoking it for a countless amount of hours.
Yeah.
So same cut of meat cooked 2 different ways and 2 totally different results.
Wow. I didn't know that. I thought brisket was like the best part of it. That thing
No.
melts in your mouth.
It is now because the barbecue's gotten so popular. It's gotten expensive, but it used to be the cheapest cut of meat on the cow.
We got a what is it? The butt or something or?
Well, that's with pigs. It's called the pork butt, but it's not the butt. It's actually the shoulder. It's the butt end of the shoulder.
The butt end of the shoulder. Okay.
Yeah,
like
it's not actually the butt.
down. I don't know
Yeah,
where it is.
so there's two parts. You'll see the picnic, which is you get the actual shoulder, and then the butt is just a little bit below it. But
Shirley says all good things come from the South. Like me, she's a Southern girl. Hey, thanks for coming on. We got to do some grilling. This is
absolutely,
my mouth watering here. We got to do some wine with Dave paired with a good pork butt.
yeah, we can do it.
Can do it. Hey, listen, Aaron, you've been awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Nationslending.com / Aaron Kloss. Just go there. And also, Aaron, how do we get the app? We just go to the iTunes, the Apple Store, and just Nations Lending, and it pops up.
Yeah, just you should be able to go. Actually, I can send you the link if anybody's interested. Just instant message me, and I'll send it right to you, and you can download it on your phone, and then you can just share it out with anybody you like.
Yeah, and I did it. I'm going to show a little preview of it really quick. But when you go through it, asks you for email, asks for basic information, but it's pretty awesome. And then and then you pick who's your agent you're working with, and your photo is right up there. Just click on you, and they don't have to worry. They're just like anytime you're ready to check on your credit score or do any questions you have, right? You get texted.
Yeah. It's awesome. And once you get in the process, all you got to do is, like, I'm going to request different income documents to you, and you can take the camera on your smartphone, just take a picture of your whatever document you want to give me, your W-2, your pay stub, and it uploads right into my system. You can fill your application right out with it. And the best part is you get notifications throughout the whole process from the start of taking the application to the day we close. You'll get notifications through the app saying, great news, we just ordered your appraisal. Great news, your appraisal came in. Great news, you're pre-approved. So on throughout the whole process. So
yeah,
it's actually a really nice feature that we offer.
That's awesome. And it's all virtual, so hey, social distancing. Great job, guys. Off to check the gas in my grill, says Alan Langer. Hey, great having you, man. We got to do some grilling and some whining. Some whining and some complaining. We're going to do that in the
That's right.
Maybe the summer. Hopefully the summer.
If you got 16 hours, you come by my house and get some brisket.
Nice. I'll do that. You got it. All right.
Awesome.
Take care, Aaron.
Thank you.
Bye. That's cool, man. Man, that's like mouth-watering. That's mouth-watering stuff right there, that meat. He's a good guy. And so seriously, go to if you have Google Store, Android, go to the Play. Is it Android Play? I'm totally drawing a blank. But if you're on an iOS, an iPhone, just go to the App Store and Nations Lending, and you'll see it. And Aaron's actually going to put the link right in the comments right now, so you don't even have to listen to me just flapping my jaw. Great job, guy. He said that already. Invite me. Shirley Gerard said invite me. Great job, Tom Lopolito. Tom Lopolito, wop, bam, boom, tutti frutti. Hey, Tom's going to be on tomorrow night. I'm going to do some Little Richard. Some Little Richard. A wop, bop, a loo, bop, a wop, bam, boom, tutti frutti. Oh, Rudy. Who's Rudy? Google Play or App Store. Thanks, Shirley. Thank you. Just like a Southern girl, always correcting the men. Always, watch it. Always correcting the men. No, that's how you cook the brisket. Not that way, like this. Actually, you wouldn't say it that way. We all do it this way. We don't do it that way. You people in the North, you don't do it the right way. See, you got to do it this way, not that way. Anyway, that was great. Aaron's a good guy. It's 9:53. It's still wine o'clock. It's still 9. As long as it's not 10, then it's 10 o'clock. What are we talking about now? Shirley is laughing. Thank you. I like to insult people every now and then. It's all good. It's all good. All right, you ready for the next segment before we close shop here? Ready? I'm going to show you 2 things that are kind of cool. Are you ready? Are you ready? Lop, land, boom, bop, wop, bam, boom. Yeah. Now, this is the segment called Dave Plays with Apps. And here's my phone. There's all the apps. I can pick an app and I can play with it. Hence the name, Dave Plays with Apps. But today, I want to highlight one that is right here, Nations Lending. And he's actually going to put it in there. Chris Maynard, apps. Chris loves apps. So you can't see this because I'm going to go like that to reduce it. Boom. You like that? I can sit anywhere I want. I go, whoa. Whoa, look out for that app. Whoa, look out for that app. Oh, that app. Almost got hit by an app. Officer, I was not driving too fast. This app came at me on live television. So, Nations Lending, get started, signed in. Well, I'll sign in. David at, should I do this, Aaron? Does it show my password? englandstudio.com. By the way, just shared the link. Password. Yeah, it's showing the password. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to X out of it. But trust me, it's really, really cool. And I'm going to reiterate what Aaron said. It allows you to fill out an application just you're sitting on your couch and you're doing this and get pre-approved. It's got a mortgage calculator. It's not like all the other calculators. Aaron was telling me earlier. It's nothing like that. It's very accurate. It's based on the conventional loan that you're going for, the FHA or the VA loan, depending on whatever loan. You can change the down payment. You want to put 10% down, you want to put 50. What do you want to put? It completely it reworks. It just reworks itself, and you get a pretty accurate quote. Don't trust a lot of those. Believe me, I'm a web designer. There's apps that you could put in widgets onto websites, WordPress sites. That's like mortgage calculator. They're not worth anything. They're really not. They're interesting. They let people play around, but then once you call the person, it's not the same as what you quoted. You don't get quoted by a plugin on a WordPress site. Really? That's your lender? A plugin on a WordPress site? Anyway, WordPress is amazing for completely other things, but you got to trust this one. Nations Lending is the way to go. So I'm going to just close out of that because that was he already talked about that. But like Aaron said, like all these milestones along the way, you've now been approved, or here's your credit score, or you're in purchase and sales, or whatever the milestones are. I don't know what they are. It's been a while since I bought a house 5 years ago or so, but I don't remember exactly all the milestones, but they tell you. And Aaron's right there on the other side of the phone, just like answering questions. You want to text him through the app. I'm sure you can get a hold of him. It's really great. Hire Aaron if you're looking for a home. All right, so what is she? Shirley, myapp.nationsgo.com/DickXE. DickXE. However you want to pronounce that. I have another app, though, because I figured in case you people were like, no, that's too heady. I already own a home, and mortgages, I don't want to deal with that now. COVID-19, mortgages, finance. I want something fun, Dave. So let me move over so I'm in the middle. So I have something fun. It's called RunP. Have you heard of RunP? You haven't heard of RunP? RunP is basically an app that rates movies, but that's just a side note. It tells you when you can get up during the movie to run to pee. Yes, there's an app for that. You got a whole list of them. Ready? Let me go up here. Close that out. So here's the list. Can you see it? See all these lists? Boom, boom, boom. The Lodge. See, but of course you can't go to the movies now. But download this because you're going to need it. Because sometimes you got to go number 2. Or number 1. Especially with that brisket, you got to, All right, so here we go. Call of the Wild. That's like a CG movie. It's a computer graphics. Let me click on that. Can you see that in there? Boom. I just clicked on it. It showed, don't worry about, Obi-Wan at the bottom there. Just avoid that. Just focus on that right up there, the top section. It gives you a reader's poll. But at the top, you tap on Call of the Wild. And it opens. And look at this. It's not the best design, but see these little chunks of information? Let me see. Right. There's a chunk. Here's a chunk. There's a little chunk. Old McDonald. So it says 26 minutes and 40 seconds into the movie, when Francois, the Asian lady, says to Buck, "Now I do too." That's when you get up to go to the bathroom. You have a 3-minute, 35-minute break, 35-second break. So people have reviewed this, and they write down on their phones the boring parts, the stuff that's could have just been thrown out. But if you wait 49 minutes, it's a 4-minute and 20-second break. That's when John narrates, "But the whip offered him no choice." Must be an Indian. You have a 4-minute, 20-second break. That's when you go poo-poo. 1 hour and 1 minute and 45 seconds in. I mean, it's really tight. You have a 4-minute and 45-second. Folks, that's a brisket bathroom. That's when John says, "It's a canoe, Buck. We're going to ride in it." Can you see that? I'm serious. This is a real app. Sal Socco told me about this. He goes, "It's real." And it's sometimes you got to go to the bathroom. You don't want to miss it. You pull this out. So when the movie starts, you click on the movie that you're going to, you're sitting at. As soon as the opening credit, you hit it. Put it in your pocket. And then you're like squirming because you're like, "I really got to go pee." And all of a sudden, and you pull your phone out and you're like, "Here's the first got to go pee." You got 3 minutes. You're not going to miss anything. Is that cool or what? You can go poo-poo and not miss anything. That's the best feeling in the world, to go poo-poo and not miss anything. I just want to say poo-poo on a live show. That's just, to me, that's funny. So download that, all right? It's funny. It's called Run P. But there is something in that. If you check 2 movies, it's like, "Oh, sorry, you're out of credits." What is it called? P credits? They really call it. Oh, here it is. No, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in here. I think it's called P credits. And so you have to give your email, and then they give you another 2 credits. Or you got to watch a commercial, and then they give you another 2 credits. So they're trying to, that's how they monetize. You know, you could actually pay them like $2, and they give you 10 movies to watch with P credits in there, so you can go. So it seems weird, but a lot of people doing that. So anyway, it is 10:02. It's time for a joke. Run P. Keith Holcomb's on. Run P. He's got Run P. Yeah, if you're gonna see a bad movie, you can go poo-poo and boom booms and pee-pees and do all that stuff. Hey, listen, let me turn that off because you don't want to have Run P on there. I always end with a closing joke, and my dogs are driving me crazy. So Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, they go camping and they pitch a tent. And in the middle of the night, Sherlock Holmes wakes up and he hits Watson. "Watson, wake up, wake up." And he wakes up. He goes, "Look up." So he looks up. He goes, "What do you see?" And Watson looks up and he says, "I see millions and millions of stars, Sherlock." He says, "And what does that mean?" And Watson goes, "It means that we are in a vast, vast universe, Sherlock." And he says, "And what does that mean?" And Watson is like kind of confused. And he goes, "It means that there's probably life out there." "And what does that mean?" And he says, "It means that maybe there's another planet that has 2 people like a Sherlock Holmes on it, kind of like us." And Sherlock looks at him. He goes, "No, you idiot. Someone stole our tent." You idiot. Come on. Idiot, someone stole our tent. Hey, stole our tent. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Tomorrow night.